Video games. What is it that makes them so damn addicting? At first, it's the little things that hook you. Simplicity.
Just one game.
And when you're drawn in, 9 times out of 10, you're forced to play against your will. At least, that was my case. My name is Sexton. Though I have tried to recover from video game addiction, I've realized that the resistance is futile. But is it the same for everyone else, or just me? Well, I decided to go find out for myself. I decided I would base my documentary and research on a close friend of mine and his family, not to mention some of his friends. That friend of mine was none other than Chance Kendrick.
Look at that!
There's also Chance's third youngest brother, Hunter.
Men's morale, then attack their castle and destroy their barracks.
Then below Hunter was the 2 tumor babies we know as Cameron and Jordan. I may have bitten off more than I can chew.
My name is Chance Kendrick. I'm 22 years old.
I'm Hunter Kendrick. I'm 18 years old.
I'm Cameron. I'm 12 years old.
I'm Jordan. I'm 11.
And I'm a game addict.
And I'm a game addict.
And we're video game addicts.
An addict is somebody who goes out of the way to get their fix.
If you're thinking about it constantly, if you've always got it with you,
They're stuck to it. They just can't stop, like me and caffeine. I just keep drinking it down.
Yep, that's a drug.
as far as like being an addict, I am to an extent, but like if I have other things I have to do, you do them. But given free time and the option, I'm playing games. Plain and simple. So on average a week, I play somewhere between 20 and 40 hours a week.
I normally spend over 30 hours playing video games a week.
I've played 25 hours on one game just this week, essentially. I've had it since Sunday.
Whoa! That's not fair. You got invisibility now.
I try not to avoid family time, but sometimes I do like to sit down and play video games with myself and just kind of relax a little bit and get into my games.
I see my family all the time. We all live in the same house, but like we have our things that we do together as a family, and they're always at the same time. So you know, like save the game and off I go.
I enjoy video games more than I do school and homework.
I really don't know anyone that has dropped their grade because of video games.
Hunter.
It's more fun to play video games.
I'm most addicted to probably nerdy games.
I play Monster Hunter,
Halo Wars,
Pokemon on my DS,
Stuff like Pokemon,
Euphoria,
Left 4 Dead,
Zelda.
essentially first-person shooters.
I enjoy first-person shooters,
Like shooting things dead, it's really fun. It calms me down.
like real-time strategy games. You know, you've got something competing against you, trying to destroy you.
RPGs every once in a while. RPGs are the really soul-sucking ones. You'll sit down and 8 hours will go by and you're like, I did just a mission. Oh God. You know, or you've done, you know, you've maybe leveled up once in the entire time. You know, those are the ones that are really just, all your time's gone. You don't even realize it.
Things your average nerd would play.
As if all of them playing a game together wasn't company enough, there's also the option to play video games online with other people throughout the world.
Online multiplayer games, you meet up with people you really don't know.
You can build friends lists.
Become buddy-buddy, but it won't happen all the time. There are people who aren't gonna like you, and sometimes you get yelled at, sometimes nobody will talk back, but sometimes you get meet cool people also, and you'll have conversations and goof off and play.
You're playing with people all across the world.
When I heard that you can play video games with other people across the world, I knew there had to be some kind of problem. That's when I turned to this guy. His face explains it all.
Well, you see, I I was hanging out with one of my buddies, Ben. And we were goofing off over Halo. And I was talking like an Asian. Using L's as R's and so on and so forth. And this kid, like, had to be, you know, 13 and under, no older than 10, decided to cuss me out. And I just kept on going. And I kept on pestering the kid. And he cusses me out again, but at this time, he goes quiet. And all you hear is, "No, Mom, there's an Asian in the room. Mom, no, really, there's an Asian in the room. No, Mom, please." And there's just this long scream. And I asked the kid how he's doing. Next thing I know, he's crying over the mic. And I couldn't help but laugh.
The big brands right now, the Xbox 360,
PS3.
The Wii,
the PlayStation Portable, which is the PSP.
Nintendo DS,
Don't know what that stands for, maybe dual screen. No.
the PC, and if you go farther back, there's much older gaming systems that you really don't see a lot anymore.
It was all fun and games until I asked the Kendrick boys how much they've spent on video games alone just in the past 12 months. It seemed thinking about it horrified them.
In the last 12 months,
I'd say easily 8, 9, maybe $1,000.
maybe over $400.
Probably $30 to $50. I'd say to me about $22 maybe.
I dropped almost $600 at GameStop in one go. $65 a pop. That adds up really quick. I'm going now. I got something for you.
What?
Ah, you're going with me.
It's nice to see the big kids playing with the little kids, but as a little kid should know, there are rules to playing with the big kids.
First new rule number 1 is this controller stays out in the open where it's nice and safe. I'll kill you if it isn't.
Put it under
I'm just saying. Rule number 1. Alright. Rule number 2. We are bigger than you. We're more skilled and been playing the game for longer. So more than likely, 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose.
What I'm saying is, Thomas told me you need to improve and everything. And I'm like, I can't.
You can too improve, but the only way to improve is you play against people who are better than you.
You don't ever want to play. You never play. You're always so busy.
Rule number 3. Well, keeping rule number 2. Cam, buddy, it's okay. Rule number 2 is it's just a game. Don't get worked up. It's all right. Okay. Okay.
Rule number 3.
True. I forgot I made a new rule number 1.
Yeah.
I knew I said rule number 3 was right. Rule number 3. Editing myself here.
Come on, boys!
After watching the Kendrick boys play their video games, I began to wonder about their other interests and hobbies. That's when I followed them to a local building where Chance and Hunter get together with a group of friends and play another game, Dungeons and Dragons, or D&D for short. This is when I realized they weren't just video game addicts, they were any game addicts.
You hear something go whizzing past your ear, and Taven, you actually feel something like just like a sting in your arm.
Well, that's nice, Taven. Do I take any damage? Bugs!
Dungeons and Dragons is a game. It's a role-playing game. It is based on certain mechanics and rules that you have to follow, but on the other part of it is that you can pretty much do whatever you want.
It's a game where you take up the mantle of another person. You know, you pretend to be somebody, and just like the games, you fight, you explore, you adventure in dungeons, whatever, except instead of using written programs, you use dice to determine the variables.
In a role-playing game, which D&D is, I mean, you have to imagine a whole complete personality for your character that's not real. I mean, it's all inside your head. I mean, you might have some representation on like a board of some sort, but I mean, for the majority, it's inside your head and it's what you want the character to be.
I am a dwarf. I am this 4'11", bald, white-bearded armor-plated, giant, sword-swinging, mean little dwarf.
I'm playing a human monk, which is much like you might expect. I'm fast. I attack with my fist. You know.
I am a monk named Corian, who is part of a new church that just formed up that worships a dragon deity.
In the current campaign right now, I am a class called an archivist, just an adventuring librarian, and my job is to keep all the other players healed up and ready to go so that we don't get run over by whatever that son of a bitch Rob decides to throw at us.
My character in the current campaign we're doing, I am a half-elf rogue with a level of cleric because our party started to lose the heals, so I had to jump in there.
In the campaign right now, I'm called Salazar Slytherin. Oh no, it was an original name, right? It was one of my first characters that I made.
I am what's called the Dungeon Master, or the DM.
You take 6 points of damage from his sword as he slices at your legs, kicking at him. Ow.
The DM has a lot of power.
Everything is moved around by the Dungeon Master. He's the guy absolutely in charge of basically whether you live or die at any given moment.